selfish, nah. The story flip if I let you tell it. Put my heart and soul in so you feel it. I ain't never faking, I'm the realest since Tupac in imprisonment, claiming his innocence. Currently, I'm the greatest rapper in a sense. But any currency, I'm still guaranteed my wins. This is coming from within, I stuff for real, I don't pretend. When the OG spilling knowledge, bet it's best you soak it in. I'm a prophet to them scholars, got them chakras opening. Got them fixing up their octaves, now they truly focused in. I'm seeing 2020 visions, daily manifesting on my premonitions. Best to keep it neutral, got my own religion. The brainwash, gotta make your own decision. My word is James Bond, I stay on a mission. Coming for the top position, ain't no competition, man. Pull up in the top is missing, fuck the opposition, and all that lane switching, this is what the game is. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show, this so perennial. Do this for my millennials, I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show, this so perennial. Do this for my millennials, I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know.
Yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This is taken at his 4. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 17-yard line.
We go. 10 logo. Watch time, watch time. Hey, box drop, box drop. 3 down. 3 down.
Throwing on first down. Floyd. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest, you can draft the most athletic guys, but if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive.
19's me. 19's me. Single.
Operating from the gun. Floyd. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Zadarius Smith racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. The Steelers send out their punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And this will be down just inside the 30-yard line.
Let's go. The Packers take over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. And now movement here right away. Maybe a sign of things to come with this crowd. The full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Now the Georgia Southern man, this is Jerick McKinnon. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook.
And he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. From the gun, Floyd. Complete. This is Lewis. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow, out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
Talk about angling that one perfectly, partner. We know the ball can bounce anywhere, especially how it's shaped. But that one, as if on cue, goes out of bounds perfectly.
Perfect indeed, right at the 1-yard line. Excellent coffin corner punt. In his own end zone, it's Rodgers. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. The 40, 30, 10, touchdown, Packers. Marquise Goodwin, 99 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. I love watching Goodwin play. Of course, everybody knows the story of him being an Olympian. He's a long jumper,
yes,
right?
Yes.
But you know that he has that athleticism, that big playability.
He certainly does. And not only was he an Olympian as a long jumper, married to a sprinter. How about that for speed in one family? And I love his end zone celebrations now. When he does go deep and beat someone for a touchdown, now he does the long jump as his celebration. Pretty cool deal.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
The Steelers picking up 15 yards there at a 1st down. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down.
Look at me. Go.
Toss play, Connor. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop.
Drop deep. Take 4. Check Mike, 9. Get it.
Operating from the gun, Floyd, and he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Rashawn Gary racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One-play drive, long pass. Maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another first and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. Touchdown, Packers. 2 touchdown passes now here in this first quarter for Aaron Rodgers. And the Packers are able to strike quickly for 6. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
15
To throw on second down, Floyd. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
4 down. Check Mike, 99. I'm coming after you.
From the gun, Floyd, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
The Steelers send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. And no return on this one as that kicks out of bounds, so they'll start just outside of their own 30-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. It's a gain of 35. Back in the first quarter, you said it, they need to avoid the big play, but he just got a big one right there.
You can't relax. You know, we talked about in the first quarter, but as the game progresses, still opportunities, and he took advantage of one there.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Hey, 626. Over.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. Man open, it's Goodwin. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Rodgers, 3 first-half touchdown passes. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. He's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
The Steelers take over first down at their own 25-yard line. The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready up.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
I'm going to run you over. Now.
Here's counter. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Going to throw right side here, complete. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
Go. 10 Lobo. Mike 91. All day, baby. All day, all day. Back. Clear. 5.
They'll run on first down. Connor on the tackle that time, Dean Lowry.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here we go, D. Double tight. Hey. 4 down. Hey, Delta. Check Mike 99. Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys. Big dribble.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Floyd. And this is incomplete. Now, you got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Floyd, incomplete. He had his hands on it, but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. On first down, McKinnon again. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
319. Back the ball. Danny. Hey, Smith.
On 2nd and 12, Rodgers throwing middle, and it's complete. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work.
Oh, it's out. McKinnon fumbled it. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover.
Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Devontae Adams, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. The extra point splits the uprights, and the rout is on here in this first half. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Operating from the gun, Floyd. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Check Mike, 99, Mike, 99. Watch the curl. Watch the hit it.
To throw on 3rd down, Floyd. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Oh, he sheds himself free. And now the rookie's free. Touchdown, Packers. That punt returned 69 yards as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Going top shelf and got his man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 32 that time. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Floyd. That one brought in by his tight end, Adam Shaheen. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. McKinnon. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
Watch the screen.
On play action. Now Rodgers. Trying to lay one up deep. It's caught at the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the 3rd quarter. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go.
Their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Now McKinnon to start the drive. He finds an opening past the 40 and all the way up to the 45-yard line. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves,
there he goes left side. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers on fire, his 5th touchdown pass of the ball game as his guys continue to pour it on. Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead.
42. Steelers nothing.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
and I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Again, it's Connor. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On first down, Floyd able to find Shaheem here. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Let's go, D, let's go. Hey, let's get there. No. Off.
Shoot. On first down, it's Connor, and it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
The 46-yard line.
On the set.
Let's go, tackle. Let's go. We got this.
Get it.
They'll stay on the ground with Connor again. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Hey, Charlie.
4 down. Check. 4 down. Check Mike, 9-9. Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball right here. Check Mike, 9-9. Let's go.
Hit it.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. On 4th down, Floyd able to find Shaheen, the tight end. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Tight ends left. We got 4.
On 1st and 10, Floyd. And he will find his man on the outside. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. Sets up the screen to Lewis. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Back to throw. Floyd. And yes, complete to the tight end McDonald. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
2nd and 13. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions. Now, in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Kill. Watch twist. Look over here.
Now a give right side. It's 4th. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Here we go. Check 9.
2nd down, McKinnon. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Don't get nervous. Slam. Teammate. Under.
They run it with McKinnon. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Not today, you are. Not today. Joker.
On 2nd down now, McKinnon. And some room to roam now. Past the 20. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. It's a gain of 35.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. They go draw play to McKinnon. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. Out to the right, here's McKinnon. A nice run there, 8 yards, moves him much closer to the goal line now for 3rd down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They'll run it with Williams. Williams loses the football, and he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Dexter Williams, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Point after here coming up. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5.
Let's go, boys. Bring it on.
1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Protein spill. Be grip.
To throw on second down. Floyd. Open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
A second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3.
Tight ends on the Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo.
Greystone travel.
Check.
Bam.
Check.
They'll try and run for it with Connor. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
Ready? 8, read. Hey, Alpha.
Move. Everyone's got 4 down. Check that.
Shoot.
Throwing on first down. Floyd. And that'll be incomplete. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle. As a visiting team, as an underdog, you were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key, and this one's playing out in this one.
Lewis has the first down and then some. A huge play there on the screen pass. 52 yards.
So how many more years are we going to define this position as running back? I really feel like we're evolving into something else because they have to be such a hybrid, don't they? Guys who can run it, but they love to have those guys with hands like a wide receiver.
Show it.
Hey, lock it.
That's a safety creep.
80 weapon. Hit it.
They'll look to run with Connor. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. James Conner with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Steelers are able to at least knock the deficit down a bit. Boswell good with the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. We you know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
I'm coming after you. After you. Mike, 55. Check, 55. Mike. I got one.
Here's McKinnon. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Give him 6 yards in the first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
Rodgers on the keeper. It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 30-yard line.
Green 18. You don't want this. Green 19.
And they will take a knee here.
Rodgers on the keeper.
The last two plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking.